Are we ready? Hi, I'm Denise Allen. For all of you, this is the audience I know and love. For those of you here in the room, for all of you streaming, and for all of you that are going to watch this recording at some time in the future, welcome and thank you for your fortitude. In a few minutes, we're going to hear from many of you, but first, I want to hear from all of you. We just listened to a remarkably relevant song. It was like a minute ago. Does anybody remember it? So I want to hear from all of you. The song is the hint. Who has the power? That was good, but I've seen you all in action, so I'm going to ask one more time. Who has the power? Yes. The people have the power, and the people are resilient. Resilience is the ability to adapt, to recover, and to grow stronger, even through hard times, stress, and major loss. Are we going through a hard time? Are any of you feeling some stress? But you're here. We're all here together. That is resilience. A very wise woman recently reminded me that resilience is strengthened by reestablishing the commitment. Reestablish the commitment. We're going to do that together and help each other reestablish our commitment by asking this question. What fires you up? We've got volunteers who are going to record some answers, and we've got people with mics that are going to come around, and we want to hear from all of you. As many of you as we can. What fires you up? What gets you here? What's inspiring you? What are you fighting for? What fires you up? Answer the question. Who wants to start? Go ahead, right here. So you're going to talk in the mic. Say it again, Pauline.
Protect the ocean against Trump.
Who else? Go ahead.
Cut military spending.
All right, that's how we want it to roll. Keep it short, keep it sweet. Let's hear from all of you.
Saving our local safety net.
Yes, yes. Who else?
Cruelty and violation of human rights.
Yeah.
What's happening in Gaza?
Oh, okay. Regulate AI centers.
Hearing what Mondami is doing in New York.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep.
All the progressive winds that are going across the country.
No war on Cuba.
There you go.
Seeing politicians win against much better funded candidates.
Protecting our future generations.
Decrease corruption.
Bring the money back to the people.
Stop climate change.
Tax the billionaires.
Saving our democracy.
Restore women's rights.
Stop the billionaires from running the country.
Yep.
Voter suppression.
Overturn Citizens United.
Let's just do a few more. Put your hands up.
Winning the 2026 midterms.
Yes.
Expand the Supreme Court.
One more. Medicare for all, health care for all. Great. All right. All right, let's give a big round of applause to all of you, all of these wonderful ways to re-establish the commitment. Thank you to our mic runners and to our easel writers. Thank you. Resilience is not about ignoring pain or never feeling sad. It's about the mental and the emotional strength to keep going and find a way forward. Again, we thank you for your fortitude. Today, we are going to talk about that way forward and all the ways that we're going to stay involved and strengthen each other's resilience.
Hi. There we go. And I just, oh, no, go back. There we go. Land acknowledgement. Thank you. And I just realized this is very tiny up here, although I should have it memorized. Hello, my name is Amanda Harris. I use she, her pronouns. I'm one of the co-leads for Indivisible Santa Cruz County. Thank you all for being here this evening. Thank you. The land on which we gather is the unceded territory of the Awaswa-speaking Yupi tribe, the Amamutsan tribal band comprised of the descendants of indigenous people taken to Missions Santa Cruz and San Juan Bautista during Spanish colonization of the Central Coast, is today working hard to restore traditional stewardship practices on these lands and heal from historical trauma. So, next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to start off with a little bit of business because this is our general meeting. I'm going to provide a little bit of a treasury report. So currently in our treasury, we have just over $18,000, which is a lot. You all are very generous. The breakdown of where funds have been spent, so I pulled a report from January of this year until the end of, what is this, August, at the end of July. So this is kind of the breakdown of where all the donations are going that we're getting. We've got, in that amount of time, we had about $23,700 in expenses. This also includes the $15,000 that we spent for the No Kings event. We are anticipating another No Kings in October. We haven't gotten, oh, go back. I forgot the clicker today, so yeah. We haven't gotten confirmation that there is going to be another No Kings, but the word is possibly October ahead of the midterms. So we're waiting to kind of get final word. For those that are not aware, there are literally hundreds and hundreds of groups in this coalition that puts No Kings together. Indivisible is kind of just like the spearhead of that, so it's a lot of people that are involved to kind of make that decision. So we're just kind of waiting for word on that. So as you can see, most of it goes towards kind of tabling, events. All of the money that we receive goes, 100% of it goes back into here in the community. Aside from we might make a donation outside, but that's very rare that we do that. So all the money that you're donating supports the community here. So thank you so much for those that have donated. We have another potential ongoing expense that we want to bring up this evening. We are looking for a storage space. So I have a couple of asks around that. If anyone has a safe and kind of large storage space that they might be able to let us use, we're looking for something that's kind of centrally located. We have sound equipment, t-shirts, bullhorns, just sort of like our gear to put on all the events that we put on. So we're looking for somebody to, if anybody has space that they are willing to donate, that would be fantastic. Or if you have property and you'd be willing to house or host kind of a long-term storage situation that we would purchase to store on your property. And then the other option is if anybody's willing to help with a recurring monthly donation for an actual storage space. And we've been looking at storage spaces and trying to find something that's cheap and safe and nice. And that's like $180 to $200 a month. So I know that I said we have about $18,000. If the No Kings does happen and we do put it on at the same scale, that could put us, cost $10,000 to $12,000 depending on how big the event is. So if anybody is interested and able to support in that way, please see one of the leadership team after the meeting. We'd love to connect you to that. And next slide, please. Okay, here's our agenda this evening. So we're going to go over ballot measure endorsements, hands-off vote, midstreams. Midterms are pivotal. They really are. Small acts matter, member appreciation picnic coming up, and then issue team tabling spotlight. So next slide, please. All right. So ballot measure endorsements. So for those of you who don't eat, sleep, and breathe politics like those of us do on the leadership team, there are going to be 14 ballot measures, statewide ballot measures on our ballot this coming November. There's a few local ballot measures and a few local elections, but there are 14 ballot measures. All kinds of stuff. If you haven't taken a look yet, what we want to do is, so we're connected to California State Strong. For those that aren't aware, it is a broader coalition of indivisible groups. I think there's maybe, I'm not sure now, maybe 90 different groups across the entire state. This is kind of essentially Indivisible's like lobbying group. So it's a coalition of all these groups. And we take trips and go to Sacramento and talk to our legislators. So what they do is they identify priority bills to support. So they go through this entire vetting, voting process that happens. And then they say, okay, here are our priority bills for this legislative session. So that meeting is going to happen with CAS, California State Strong, in September. And they're going to review these 14 ballot measures. So from that, the ones that anything that they endorse or don't endorse or support or not support, we are going to follow that lead as our chapter. And anything that they don't do, so let's say they do, 7 of the 14, we will try to review the remaining 7 and ask for you all to come and help us support or not support, endorse as a chapter. So why that's important is it helps us have a voice outside of just your vote. So that kind of increases our reach past an individual vote to say our chapter of over 4,000 people supports this. We can get on board and say at the state we have thousands and thousands of people that support or are against this specific measure or whatever it is. So we did this process for the primaries. How many of you all actually voted in that primary process? Okay, that's good. I'm glad to see. So unfortunately, out of our over 4,000 people, we only had a few hundred people participate in that primary process, which is really, it's unfortunate because it was a lot of work to do that. And it took months and months. And our Restored Democracy group got the ball rolling on that, and then Jenny and I worked on it, and it was a lot of work to get it up and running. But we're just trying to, as another way, and Leah and Ezra, who are the co-founders and co-executive directors of Indivisible National, really are starting to push for this endorsement process. There are now candidates that are endorsed nationally by Indivisible. So it's kind of building up that political power and that political will as a chapter. So that's kind of what we're trying to work towards. So we're going to, I'm not totally sure what it's going to look like yet, but we're going to send out information. How many of you all read our weekly newsletters? What day does it come out? Yay! Thank you. Yes, so Kelly works incredibly hard on those, so thank you to Kelly for doing that. And I'm glad that you all are reading and engaging. Yeah. They take hours and hours to put together sometimes. It's a lot. But we want to make sure that you all are informed and you have something that's easily digestible and a way to connect to other people in Santa Cruz that are doing what you're doing. So the last thing I will say about the endorsement process, so we're going to wait until September to see what CAS does, and then the remaining stuff we will try to figure out and have some sort of forum, or we're not exactly sure what that will look like yet, but please keep an eye out for your email for that information. And then just as the process goes for endorsement, we want at least 10% of the membership to vote, and then the threshold for endorsing or opposing something, because if it's a terrible ballot measure, we want to oppose it. So that is also a thing to do, to say oh my gosh, this is so terrible. No, 60% of those voting have to choose whichever way that goes. So I think that might be the end of, what's the next slide? All right, so I'm going to call Shasta up.
All right, short people. Okay, I think that's about right. And then, there's the whole thing, too, is some of us have gotten older, and you're like, can I really see that? But, nonetheless, we'll forge ahead. So you all know, right, that Trump is desperate. He's so desperate because he knows his party cannot win without cheating, right? So we're going to talk about how we can stop him from attacking the voters, attacking the polls, and attacking the elections themselves. We can all stop him by joining the Hands Off Our Vote program. This is a new Indivisible program that came out starting on July 30, and it has 4 points, but the main idea behind this is that every eligible voter can vote, every vote is counted, and the results are honored and the winners seated. You wouldn't think it'd be too much to ask, but right, we all know Trump. So let's go to the next slide. So the first point in the plank is to bank the vote. And this is super important because we're going to protect the elections by having massive turnout and early turnout. When you add massive turnout early together, then it's very hard for them to deny what's happening on the ground. And it means that on election day, you have a lot less chance of shenanigans. Some of you may remember what happened in Hungary. In Hungary, there was a sitting dictator, 16 years of a dictator. The voters came out, 73% of the electorate came out and voted him out, right? Yes, yes. So that's what we're doing. We're going to start by reaching out to our friends and family. You knew you were on Facebook for some reason, right? You know, I mean, I think I have a couple relatives I'm pretty sure aren't registered, so I have to start with them. So we're going to ask them, all of our friends and family, particularly those that aren't here in the bluer parts of California, reach out to them. Ask them to check their registration. If they're in one of those ID states, then help them get their ID together and tell them we've got to vote early. That's our first thing, right? And when you reach out to them, right, 188 our vote. That's nationwide. Doesn't matter if they're in Arkansas or Kansas, anywhere, they can call and get the information they need for their state. Next slide, please. The other plank, the second plank, which is super important right now, is that we need to fight doomerism and lies. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone online go, well, what's the point? He's going to steal it anyway. No, 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 okay? U.S. elections are decentralized, and the state mechanisms are actually strong. Trump has power, but he can only be in a few places at one time. Plus, we're going to have a whole organization. So we need everybody to fight back on that doomerism and those lies when you see them. If they're casting doom, which might stop people from voting, or they're scaring voters, put a lid on it. Put a lid on it. Tell them, no, stop spreading misinformation. We have lots of groups. It's not just Indivisible. Hands Off or Vote is a bigger coalition. ACLU is doing things, so there are many, many places. Our place, at least mine, is with Indivisible, Hands Off Our Vote. But, we don't deny that there are threats. But the election system is decentralized. The state systems are strong. The regime can't be everywhere at once, and Indivisible is going to have a plan. So, in order to actually start working on this one, in addition to this social media pushback, we invite you to join ISCC's election protection team. We'll be tabling over there. We're going to both fundraise for places that are not Blue California, and we are going to give people tools that they can use. We'll be flyering them, giving people tools they can use to fight this terrible regime efforts. So all of this election protection is going forward both nationally and in the chapter. So you can speak up on social media or in print. If anybody subscribes to USA Today, that's a great place to get a letter to the editor printed. And I just want to say, you will also be helping by canvassing, phone banking, eventually joining the early vote activation with No Kings. Bet you hadn't heard about that before, right? Early vote activation with No Kings. So if you're kind of on the fence and you're like, well, I haven't really done anything, now's the time. Now's the time for sure. Next slide, please. All right, so our points 3 and 4, they tell us that rapid response actions may be called. We may be showing up in numbers. We may be doing visibility brigades. We may do hotline reporting. We may even do voter purge phone banking, calling those voters who've been purged, and helping them get back onto the rolls, and possibly a mass mobilization. So please sign up for the Hands Off Our Vote trainings using the QR code that you see that is just to the right of the Mobilize link. If you're not familiar with QR codes, they're a little icon. QR means quick response. So they're a quick response code. And if you turn on your phone's camera and you point it at that little icon, just kind of move it in and out till you get a good focus. And underneath it, you'll see a little bit of text. When you click on that text, you will go to that QR code, and that will sign you up for the Hands Off Our Vote training. There are at least 2 more this month. It's going to be super, super important. So I want to thank you all and congratulate you for being here, and I am ready to turn it back over to Amanda to talk about the midterms.
Just go in. Okay, so yes, every single election we've had during this current administration, we have said this is the most important election. We say that every single time, but each one is even more important than the last. And there are so many things that you can do depending on your abilities and how you can engage, physical limitations, anything like that. There are a number of ways that you can get involved. We have just 82 days until the November 3rd midterms. It's mid-August already. I don't know where the summer went, but now is the time to step up. We have like 15,000 people show up to No Kings, 10,000 people show up to No Kings. Imagine what things would look like if all of those people donated to a candidate, multiple candidates, supported a grassroots organization, phone banked, text bank, canvassed on behalf of a candidate somewhere, supported those people doing that. Imagine the impact that would have. You all are here because you're already pretty engaged with things. I know it's hard to do all the things. I say just pick one thing to kind of do and stick with that. It's impossible to do all the things, and you can't beat yourself up about it. It is a movement, and a movement is so many people. It's all of us together doing something, doing those little things. So the next part that we're going to move into is going to go over some ways that you can engage and get involved in those small ways. Next slide. Next slide. Here we go. Small things make big impacts. And I'm going to turn over to Kelly here, and she's going to tell you about these big impacts with the small things.
I don't think of myself as short, but Amanda makes me change my mind. So I'm Kelly Minahan, and I'm one of the co-leaders of Indivisible Santa Cruz County. And I'm here, and I'm here to remind us all that there are 82 days from today until the midterm elections. And I am also here to remind us that every single one of us can do something that will make a difference. We can take some small action to help ensure that the Democrats take back the House and win the Senate in November. Right? So, a lot of you know that I wear t-shirts like this every day. And I mean every single day. I've done that since November of 2024 when Trump was elected. And what I've found in wearing these t-shirts, which essentially means I'm protesting anytime I'm out in the world, right? I talk to people, they ask me, what can I do? You know, what a woman at the doctor's office I went to today said, what does that mean? What's fascism? So putting this out there provides an opportunity to talk to people about what is going on. So, let's see. So I am going to invite all of you to do the same thing. We have these fabulous No Kings buttons, and if you will commit to wearing a No Kings button starting today and through Election Day, you can have one after the meeting, right? And I guarantee that if you do that, you are going to be talking to people. They're going to be saying, I like your button, and it's going to go from there. Or they might say, what does that mean? And that gives you an opportunity to tell them what they can do to make a difference. So let's see. Taking action matters. Taking action has been proven to make a difference in election outcomes. An example of that is when postcards are written to voters in an election, it makes a difference, and it can make a difference of up to 3%. And we know that there are elections that are decided by really small numbers, so that is an important small action. So Shasta mentioned some of the actions that we can take between now and the election, and those include things like making sure your friends and family check their registration, because we want to make sure if anybody is purged from voter rolls that they know it. There's also voter registration. You can participate in that. You can write postcards to voters, as I said. Writing letters to the editor is another way to get your voice out there in the local community. And there's also making a direct donation or hosting a Dining for Democracy event, gathering. I know some folks have already done that. And those are ways to raise money for organizations that are protecting the vote or getting out the vote. Phone banking and also canvassing are other ways to participate. We work with our partner organizations, Swing Left Santa Cruz and the Bay Area Coalition, to do those activities. So I know that a lot of you are already taking these actions, and I'd like to call on some folks to share a few words about what they're doing and why that action is important. So Bernadette, can you talk about registering voters? And the mics are going to come to you folks that I call on. Oh yeah, Bernadette already signed up before the meeting.
Take it off at night for bed. Thank you. Excellent. Well, first of all, thank you to our brilliant leadership team. I mean, boy, are they amazing? Yes, they are. We're kicking off fall registration of voters tomorrow at Cabrillo College. We're going to be, so that's going to be our whole, we're going to be dealing with freshmen. If you're looking for people who don't look like me with gray hair, go to colleges. There's young people, they're full of excitement, and many of them have not been registered. So come, it's great fun. We're going to be doing high schools, we're going to be doing UCSC, and there's going to be various community things happening. We have a table out in the hall with shifts available, etc. So please join us. It's the one thing that helps me every day get up and feel like the whole thing isn't going to hell in a handbasket. So, cheers.
Thanks, Bernadette. And Mary Alice, I'm not sure where you're sitting, but can you talk about postcards to voters? There you are. Microphone's coming.
Hi, well, I was going to say something about getting fired up, and I get fired up about the post office and the purposes to which it's being fashioned, perhaps, by our regime, by their regime. In any case, in a way of acting against these trends, writing a postcard is an intensely personal and fun thing to do. I also enjoy the actual act of writing, so some of us do and some of us don't. But the postcards are effective. They're lovely. Just imagine getting one from, I know a friend of mine puts all sorts of goodies on hers, and imagine getting that from someone and knowing that someone spent the time and the money and the love to spend enough time. And it takes me about 4 minutes to write a postcard to Tallarico, and I think I've beaten everyone for Tallarico. Oh my gosh. I'm somewhere beyond 300 at this point for Tallarico only. Anyway, we are getting together as a group from Indivisible. We've done this in the past. The third Thursday of the month at 11th hour from 5:30 until 7 o'clock or 7:30, depending on what you want to do. And we have had such a good time. Dean reaffirmed this earlier. He said, oh, we have fun. And I didn't even cue him, right, Dean? Anyway, I highly recommend it as an activity. It makes you feel like you're doing something. But the loveliness of writing to someone you don't know and just imagining who they are and that they'll vote and that we'll all make a difference together, it's really very, very big. And thank you. You can just find us in the back at the 11th hour and towards the back patio. I'm not. I don't know yet, but Jenny does.
Yeah. We have 40 postcard packets that we're giving away, and we also have 275 stamps that we're giving away. So come by it's in the back near the windows and the postcard table next to the Dining for Democracy table. Okay.
Thank you. Okay. I think Mimi is going to say a few words about a Dining for Democracy party.
Oh, you're going to hold it. Okay. Hi. So my husband and I love to cook, and we hosted a Dining for Democracy dinner on Friday night. Yeah, it was great fun. 8 people came, and everybody was so generous. We raised $1,200 for the Arizona Native Democrats, who are doing amazing work out on the Navajo, Hopi, and White Apache lands. And so I'm going to do 2 more dinners. I mean, they're really fun. A few years ago, we did huge, like 25, 30 people dinners, and we're too old and tired for that. But now we're doing smaller ones. Think about doing a small one yourself. It's really great. Thank you.
Thanks, Mimi. I think we might have someone else to attest to Dining for Democracy. Is that right? No? Okay. All right. Let's talk about phone banking then. Ellie, are you here? There you are.
Charles? Oh, you're holding it. Okay. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I found out that, I run around a lot, but sometimes I really want to do political work and be helpful at home, and phone banking's a really fun way. And it's like, okay, you get training, there's like a little workshop training thing, and then you go for it, and it's a specific amount of time that you just block out in your calendar. And I just set up at the kitchen table. I don't have an office or a desk really that's big enough to, for everything. I just feel comfortable there, and I can see the trees, and I can talk to people. And you maybe don't get a lot of people answering the phone, but you can leave a message. And also, when you do get people on the phone, it's just really exciting. I love talking to people. And I really recommend everybody give it a try, because there's going to be a lot of need for that for the midterms. And so I'm looking for my next opportunity. And, just when you see emails, look at the day and the time that it's going to be. And if you can do it, just give it a try. You get all the support you need. And I just recommend it.
Thanks, Ellie. And I'll just add, I've done it a few times, and for me, it's one of the harder things to do phone banking. But if you haven't done it before, you don't use your own phone. You go through a computer system, so nobody knows your number, which I think is something people might not realize if they haven't done it before. Canvassing is another exciting opportunity that exists, and Mark's going to talk about that.
Hi, I'm Mark Woods, and I like to canvass, which means knocking on doors and talking to people and leaving literature behind. I just got back from my hometown of Colorado Springs, Colorado, which voted for Trump in the last election. The good news is that people there tell me that over the last 10 years, it's been gradually moving towards the center. And the incumbent representative in Congress, a guy named Jeff Crank, has a 5-point advantage over Jessica Killen, the Democrat, who's a really good candidate. So while I was there, I set aside some time to go canvassing for Jessica. And I spent about half a day last weekend doing that. It was great. I've also been out to Fresno to canvass for Randy Villegas. Also a good experience. Adam Gray needs help in District 13, just north of District 22, where Randy is. So if you're interested in canvassing and you've never done it before, I'm going to show you a little bit about how it works. So you walk up to a door, 8 out of 10 times nobody's home, or they have a Ring doorbell and they decide they're not going to come. You leave literature. Okay, but that other 20% of the time, somebody answers the door. And we don't get into doorstep debates. That doesn't benefit anybody. What we do is I say, hi, I'm Mark. I'm working with the campaign of Randy Villegas. I'm a volunteer, not getting paid to do this. And we're out talking with people to find out what you think your congressman should be doing. And we're going to take this information and give it back to Randy. Do you have a few minutes to tell me what you think? So, you know, occasionally you find someone who hates Democrats or just hates people coming to the door. By the way, if there's a no soliciting sign, we just leave literature. If somebody is, you know, if you encounter what I call a maggot, you just say, oh, well, thank you for your time. Have a good day, and you leave. Okay. If you encounter somebody who says, gee, I'm really busy, you say, oh, may I give you a piece of literature? And thanks for your time. Have a good day. If you talk with somebody who says, and this is like 1 out of 10, maybe sometimes 2 out of 10 people, but it makes it all worthwhile. Somebody says, yeah, I got a few minutes. Let me tell you what I think. Excuse me, my mouth gets dry. Then what I say, you know, they say, oh, okay, this is what I care about. And you say, oh, okay, tell me more about that. Okay, move on to the next topic. Oh, by the way, you're on, Randy Villegas is on the same page as you, or Adam Gray is on the same page as you. So, hey, you know, I hope that you'll vote for Randy or Adam, and tell all your friends. Here's some literature. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. And so also there's like, if you haven't canvassed before, you will be partnered with someone who's an experienced canvasser. So if you volunteer through Swing Left or Bay Area Coalition, they won't send you out there on your own. You'll have someone who will be like Mark, who can, you know, help with any challenging situations or, you know, just guide you through the experience. So let's see, I think Holly and Jessica are here from Scotts Valley and are going to say a few words about what they've got coming up that's an action. Woot woot.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay. Hi, everyone. We finally have a name.
Oh, yay.
We're taking on, we're going to now be called Scotts Valley Democracy Rising. Thank you. We've been hosting a lot of protests, and we've had a really great turnout, and it's been really awesome to see everyone being so proactive in Scotts Valley, and we've really appreciated the support of Indivisible. So our next opportunity we're going to do is we're going to host an event that's pivoting a little bit more from the protest route because there's obviously the midterms coming up. And we want to prioritize voting and registering people to vote and getting the word out about voting. So we're hoping, still in the brainstorming phases, but we're hoping to get a few people to table at our event, other groups like yourselves, and just get the word out about voting in Scotts Valley.
Yeah, so it's, we're looking at, I think we're looking at Sunday, October 11th, but we'll have more details on that as we're kind of putting it together. So our goal is to just get people excited to vote, kind of network with some other groups, and we'll have a table for registering voters there as well. But just kind of in Scotts Valley, getting the energy up in October and kind of keeping that motivation going. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing next. So keep your eyes peeled for that. We're working with Indivisible, and we'll give more information.
Can you tell us what your name is again? I didn't catch the last word.
It's Scotts Valley Democracy Rising.
Rising.
So
Nice.
we are finalizing our Facebook page and our web page, and Holly did an amazing job on our logo. So yeah, we're trying to make things happen in Scotts Valley. Needs it.
Great. Okay, well, thank you to everybody who shared what they're doing. When we talk about what we're doing and why we're doing it, which goes back to those buttons, if you wear those and start those conversations, we inspire other people to take action and to do something as well. And so Patrick's going to come up and talk about the election protection campaign that we're just rolling out.
Hi. Hello, I'm Patrick Shields, and I'm a new member of Indivisible, Santa Cruz County. So one of the things that we're doing in order to try to address the issue of Trump's efforts to undermine the elections is to provide actually some direct support to groups that are already on the ground doing that work in particularly needy areas. So we are starting a fundraising campaign, and it's going to start this evening, and we'll have a table over there that you'll see me at, and Jenny, and we'll be starting to take donations through this QR code for these 4 organizations. And the 4 organizations are Black Voters Matter. Now they work in 20 different states, but all of the southern states, the whole southeastern part from Texas all the way to North Carolina. And they help to mobilize the vote and help with voter protection. And then Central Valley Matters, which supports Randy's campaign in the Central Valley and provides voter registration and support for infrastructure. The Movement Voter Project, which is a national organization, it's sort of a clearinghouse for funds to get them directed at the most needy swing districts around the country, and they're in 25 different states across the country. And then finally, of course, the ACLU, which is, among other things, led the effort to Trump's effort to undermine birthright citizenship. So we're starting a process, starting tonight, and then it's going to take place the 22nd at the Flash Mob event, again the 29th at the big picnic, and then the 7th at the Labor Day event, and the 19th at Bookshop Santa Cruz. And we're looking for people to sign up today to help us table at those events. We've got 4 of them scheduled, and also to potentially donate. And given the idea of donations, I was thinking that it might be good if there were something like a matching, like if anybody were willing to stand up and say, I'd put forward some money. Who's standing up? Oh, not her again. Not her again.
Sad. All right. I will match $200 given tonight at the tables. Does anybody else want to put up a match? Shasta 200. I think there's another match in the room.
Well, Shasta and I do everything together, so I too will put up $200, and I'm going to put mine towards Black Voters Matter. So somebody else, if you want to donate, I will match whatever you donate up to $200.
I want to put in 200 for Central Valley Matters.
Get this down. Remember, this is on tape.
I'll put in 200 for MVP.
All right, so if you donate tonight, you're going to be matched.
That's great.
All
Thank
right.
you. Thank you very much.
I know, that's funny. Okay, so we can go on to the next slide. And so before we conclude this section, I'm just going to touch base again on canvassing and phone banking resources. We have some QR codes here that you can use to connect with the Bay Area Coalition or with Swing Left Santa Cruz to volunteer to phone bank or canvass. And they provide training, like I think I alluded to earlier. These actions, phone banking and canvassing, are ways to directly connect with voters and encourage people to vote, and that ultimately impacts the outcome of the election. So after the meeting, Barnaby from Swing Left Santa Cruz will be in the breakout room, and there you are, and can talk to you about signing up to volunteer for those activities. And the coordinators of the other actions we've talked about will also have tables in the breakout room, so please stop by and choose an action that you would like to do or choose to. Sign up to volunteer with our election protection program or one of those other things that we've talked about. And if you're inspired to wear a No Kings button for the next 82 days, visit the ISCC table, make that commitment, and pick up your button. Let's do this. So I want to say that the esteemed historian Heather Cox Richardson recently said that the GOP is now a fascist movement. It is not simply a political party. She is identifying it as a fascist movement. We all know that now is the time to take action to stop that fascist movement. It's time for each of us to dig deep, double down, stretch ourselves, and do whatever we can to ensure a Democratic victory in November. I want to say thank you to all of you for being activists. By being here, I know you're activists, and your actions are going to make a difference. So our next speaker is Jenny H., who's going to talk about the member picnic that's coming up.
I never thought so much about how tall I was in relation to our other team members until I saw them moving the microphone up and down. I thought, what will I need to do? I don't know how I got so lucky, but I get to talk about party, which is pretty great. As Kelly mentioned, I am Jenny H. I earned an initial when I joined Indivisible late in 2024 because there's already an indomitable Jenny in the group, so I needed to be differentiated and not take any of her credit. But in joining Indivisible, it really helped me feel empowered, back in 2024 and through now, to take actions to defend democracy through voter registration, through postcard writing, all the things we've heard about here, and through our very active civil rights group. But I also discovered it is hard to keep the momentum going. And a few of the things that have really helped to maintain the momentum for me, and probably for many of you, is the connections, the personal connections that we've made with other members of the community, getting to see some familiar faces over and over again, and then ultimately finding points of fun and joy in all of this. And we have a great opportunity coming up for that fun and that joy, which is the Member Appreciation Picnic. Yeah, I get to talk about a party. I could have just said tacos and music and walked off. We'll be meeting at Harvey West 2 weeks from now. It is Saturday, August 29th. I have to read my notes because I don't want to send you on the wrong day. 12:30 to 2:30. We will be in the Evergreen Picnic area at Harvey West. You can't miss us, right? We'll be there. And we have great food for you. So there will be tacos and fajitas, vegetarian options if that applies. Hi, Santa Cruz. We're also going to have live music and interactive games. We will have other affinity groups tabling so that you can learn more about what's happening in our community. And most of all, just connect. So see some old friends that maybe you haven't seen in a while, and meet some new friends, and eat some great food. So come on down to Harvey West, Saturday, August 29th at 12:30, and we will have a party and celebrate one another. See you there.
Okay. Hello, hello. I made it. Look at all of you. This is great. Look around. Look at all of you. Look at each other. Look at each other. What I see is a resolute, resilient group of rebels for a cause. Yes. I see great grandparents. Me and my wife, grandparents, parents, siblings, only children. And we're all doing so much to care for each other. And now we're here being asked to do more, and we're willing to do more. Earlier, they've been talking about 82 days until the ballots are going to be voted on. Tomorrow is even closer. And tomorrow is the day that when you voted for the California senator and assembly person back in 2024, past 2 years and this year they've been working on bills to turn into laws for those issues that we're interested in. And they've gone through innumerable committees, gone back and forth between the Senate and the Assembly. Tomorrow, all of those bills come out of the last committee, the Appropriations Committee, and they hit the floor. It's called suspense day. All the bills that were put aside are going to be out tomorrow. And our immigration team, I'm co-leader of the immigration team, by the way. Yeah. And our immigration team has been working and sending out asks to our representatives, et cetera, to get those bills out of committee for the past few weeks. But it goes to the floor now. And your representative and your senator are going to be voting on those bills over the next 2 weeks. And that's the end. And then it goes to the governor. And from an immigration team point of view, it's important. There are 10 immigration bills on the ballot. Everything, my slide's not up, but everything from the no masks law that you probably thought was passed. Well, it was passed back in 2025, but Trump took it to court. It was put on hold. There's another bill, SB 1004 that's going to take care of some of the problems with that bill. And we want to make sure that that gets voted on by our assembly people. There's several others about ICE detention centers, about ICE killing people. There's 10 of them. We've organized them. We've created really easy ask sheets. All you need to do is take a picture of our QR code. It will take you right to your representative, and we have a script for you, and you can be palmating, getting a lot of information to them over the next 2 weeks. So please stop by our table. Not only will we have the bill information, we have several petitions that are nationwide, especially against ICE and the ICE detention centers. The ICE detention center that's coming up in Gilroy, we've got a real simple, strong petition against that. So please stop by. We do have handouts, so you can do the QR code later if you want to. Thank you.
Oh, and I don't even have to put it down. Ken had just the right. Okay, I'm Barbara. I'm co-lead of the media and communications team, and I'm going to sort of summarize a lot of what you've heard tonight, talking about what's happening in room 3, which is the breakout room where all the tables are. So let's see, we've got the civics team. They've got lots of things upcoming. The street theater and the flash mob that you might have heard a little bit about. They are also going to have a list of all their activities, including their weekly protests, postcarding, and helping with voter registration. The education team and the voter registration team have already pointed out how hard they're working, and they're going to be starting tomorrow at Cabrillo, correct? Okay. They also, at their table, we've heard about the 14 statewide ballot measures. They will have information on those at their table. Restore Democracy will be tabling to spotlight their analysis of pro-democracy candidates and democracy-related ballot measures, and also their analysis of postcarding, phone banking, and canvassing opportunities. Environmental team at their table, they are asking people to submit public comments to the EPA to add microplastics to the list of substances to monitor in our drinking water, and to NOAA to leave the California Coastal Management Plan alone. They'll have QR codes for both of those things at their table. Dining for Democracy house parties. We've heard a lot about those this evening. You'll have a chance to sign up for that. Same with postcards to voters. There will be packets available for you. The Women's Right and Issue team table. Stop by their table to learn more about how the SAVE Act could impact women and what you can do if it passes. They'll have informational flyers with resources and practical steps that you can take. They've also got a small zine, that was a new term to me, I guess I'm just not modern enough, about abortion pills, including information and access and options under the laws as they are currently stated. And they're accepting donations to 2 organizations supporting women running for office and the League of Women Voters and Emerge. So your support can help both those organizations. Immigration, I think Ken covered adequately or well, and they'll have a table. And last is media and communications. Our current focus is the Get the Flock Out program, which is, if you're not aware, it's to get flock cameras specifically and all automated license plate readers out of our county. The program Get the Flock Out has succeeded with getting Santa Cruz City cameras out of the city of Santa Cruz. Right? And now their focus is going to shift to Capitola and Watsonville. They are having a rally on the steps of the courthouse this Sunday at noon. There will be speakers, and we have flyers all about that. And also, the Visibility Brigade, Banners on the Bridge, is also something that the MAC team does. So that's all I've got. Please come see the tables, come participate, come find something more to do. Or if you're not doing anything yet, I hope you've been inspired. For closing comments, I'm going to turn it over to Denise.
Are you feeling inspired? Did you learn something tonight? Is it worth staying out past dark? Now, we already established that we are a resilient bunch. You can stay up later. You can. There's so much information going on in that tabling room. So please, show us your resilience. And you know what? These events do not happen in a vacuum. The planning, the volunteers. We love our volunteers. Can we please have a hand for all of them? We got the tech group over here. We've got speakers that you've heard from. We've got people with microphones, people writing. We have greeters at the door, people who set up tables, people who lug that stuff in and out, people who store it. All of it, all of the things, all the people who are going to stay late, take all that down, but not before you all get all the information you need to stay busy so that when we come back together in November, we are celebrating together. That's what we're going to be doing. You can find more information about everything you've heard about. Look for the Friday newsletters. Go to our website. All the information that you're hearing about is there. Look for the action resources and the newsletter archives on the website to get more information. I will see you in the tabling room, and hopefully you'll all have those new buttons on soon. Thank you. And don't forget to donate.